You guys remember Tomkek? You guys remember our man Tomkek, who redid the mount, the Lightsaber mount? He redid the Paladin Crusader mount. Now he has redone another mount. I love these videos. He takes so long to release them, but it's understandable. He puts in a shit ton of work into these. Let's see which WoW mount he has redone this time. The last one we watched, I think, was the Lightsaber or the Crusader mount. He also did the Kodo, I believe. Okay, well, let's check this out. Let's see what he's done here. Oh, yeah.
Throughout my days as a classic
Onyxia.
Onyxia taught me many things. Like flex rating was never a new feature. The DBM can actually be more annoying than wiping. What? And at 7 PM is euphemism for 6:54 PM. Having always been one of WoW's most iconic bosses, I decided to give it a tribute that Blizzard should have done with Dragonflight.
Onyxia.
My journey started with grabbing the model of the Highland Drake.
Onyxia's model does look rough.
When you ask WoW.tools for the Highland Drake, it gives you the Highland Drake.
With
All
every
of it.
customization.
This meant cleanup time, and one look at my living space would tell you how I probably felt about that one. Nevertheless, I pulled through, yielding me the base I would work from. And a cool bonus of using the original
Holy
is
crap.
this means that Blizzard could hypothetically...
It has
use the
every
original.
horn. Did you see that? Every horn all at once. I wish this was an option. Look at this shit. He's got like 36 horns on his head.
Bonus of using the original is this means that Blizzard could hypothetically throw mine
Just
right
for
into the game,
motherfuckers.
and you'd be able to use it. The Highland Drake already has customization options that vaguely resemble some of Onyxia's features, but they end up
Sure.
looking like Onyxia made in Spore. In other words, I had work to do. I
Spore.
started with the snout. The Highland Drake has a very blocky head, which wouldn't do the job for me here. I tweaked the horns to be more similarly shaped to Onyxia's and modeled the little one she's got sticking out of her nose, trying to not mess too much with the surrounding mesh. Did some more work in the area, after which I moved
This
on
is
to
crazy.
the fin
When
on
I
top of
watch
her
him
head.
do this,
I
I'm like,
said,
damn.
The Highland Drake comes with
This
a
man's
head
got
fin,
talent.
but it looks less like it belongs to the Onyxia we all know and love, and more like it belongs to Onyxia and the Chinese WoW Netties Rage Cancel. Hence, I bent it and made my own from scratch. I did the same for the ones on the side of the head, which were actually surprisingly tedious to make. Less tedious were the little horns he's got on her chin. They were very easy. And while I'm already on the topic of tedious, the rig of the Highland Drake contains more bones than
Holy.
a just chatting section on Twitch. So anytime a part of the model accidentally got rigged to the wrong bone, I would need to spend 20 minutes looking for the culprit.
Oh
If
my
a superior
god.
artist
Well, the
to me
Highland Drake animations are far better than the previous ones. I mean, it looks and moves and way better. So I mean, it's clear that they have a ton of pivot points and stuff. Look at all the bone structure. Oh my god.
shortcut for this, please, for the love of all that's good, leave a comment. Anyway, I continued on adjusting all the different parts of the model,
pretty good.
creating whatever
That's
additions
pretty
were
good.
needed, as well as adjusting the body proportions. My pet beef with the Highland Drake is that it's so damn front heavy, so I made it a bit more.
He's
not
a big
front
boy.
heavy.
He lifts. He
Before
skips
you
leg
drag
day.
to your fans,
The
get your
Highland
hopes up. That does not mean rear heavy. I see your asses on Twitter. You're gonna have to model your own brood, mommy. And with that, we have our model finished.
Nice.
That ain't the end of it yet, though, obviously. Beyond remastering the model, I had to make adjustments to the texture. I whipped open old trusty Photoshop.
Oh, yeah, whenever he
first
does
looked for
this, I
ways in
can't
which
believe how
could
good it
reuse
looks when he adds
existing
shading and
textures,
stuff.
trying to be as time efficient as possible. Onyxia has this blocky pattern on her back. Luckily, the Highland Drake has that warcraft corn on the cob tail thing as
That's
one of
true.
its customization options. I cut out a patch and made it fit. Problem is that Onyxia has them neatly in a row, rather than all random like this. So we took a different approach, cutting out individual blocks and rearranging
my
them
God.
manually. For the fins, I took components
I don't
from
have the
wing
patience
texture
for this.
and
I don't know
painted
how
the
he does
details
this.
over top. For the fins on her throat, the texture of her actual throat sort of continues. I simply duplicated it to customize later. After getting a rough start for all my textures in place, I adjusted the colors of all the different components to
Nice.
match Onyxia's, and got ready to move on to the step where it would all come together. I exported what I had and chucked it into 3D Code, where I would hand paint all the rest of the details into it. One of
this
the
is
most
looking
iconic
good.
characteristics of Onyxia is her scales. For
Yeah.
those of you who never played Classic, if you want to kill Navarian, you need to not get one-shot by Shadow Flame. The only way to not get one-shot by Shadow Flame
Look
is
how
to
he
equip
does it
your
with.
Onyxia
Look how
skill
just adding shading adds so much texture to this. All he did here was shade these are flat. All he did was shade them in. They look so good.
cloak, which leather workers were able to craft from scales of Onyxia. Or if you're like me, forget your cloak in the bank and watch your guild carry you as you lay dead bitching about your parses. That was the Classic re-release though. During Classic, my memories of Onyxia are a whole different story. Namely, confusion. Number 1, I was 8 years old and didn't speak English, and I couldn't figure out why I was unable to go into the cave to go and see the cool dragon. Number 2, this means bread in my native language. It was quite interesting, playing WoW before knowing the language that the game is in. I fondly remember the days
That's such a crazy thought.
Zulgerup, the Plaagwelans, Rochwes, Magus. I'll change the topic before the North Americans start complaining about inclusivity again. I'm very sorry. Please don't leave NATO.
Inclusivity.
Jokes aside though, Onyxia played a huge part in creating that sense of wonder WoW brought to me as a kid. I remember watching
Onyxia was an original
240p
badass
videos
of
of
the game.
Onyxia raids on my 2004 microwave monitor, having no idea what was happening, having no idea what raiding even was, but loving every second of it. The very prospect of so many people coming together to kill one dragon excited me so much that I would show it to everyone unlucky enough to be near me in a computer, forcing them to politely tell me it's cool.
Yeah, I showed a lot of people the Onyxia fight because it was such a cool thought. Now, you know, I had never played an MMO before, and I'm like, oh my god, look at all these people. They got together to kill a giant dragon. It was part of the whole fantasy of playing this
fucking
game.
clue what they were looking at. Yeah, I was that kid. 2/3 of my life later,
was that kid
the
too.
sense of excitement for MMOs and shared open worlds never left me. Nor has my love for WoW, despite the fact that I haven't cared much about the current game for many years at this point. If only they didn't cancel Chinese WoW.
Did they cancel it?
Would like to support me. I recently opened up a Patreon for those who would like to go the extra mile. I'm still figuring out how best to approach this kind of stuff, so there's more to come. But it's there for those who want to help.
This
me
guy's
out.
channel
Also, you'll
blew
get your
up.
name in my
Like he
video.
was just, he had
And
only made
also,
like
it's
one
a
or
place
two
where you can
videos.
download everything I've done so far for free.
It's
You don't have to
deserved
get
though.
me in.
He does a lot of
If you
crazy
do something
work.
cool with it, be sure to show me on Twitter. Alright? That's the only cost. And you have to follow me on Twitter. And if Patreon is not for you, just dropping a like, a comment, and subscribing if you haven't, it's already gonna do more than enough to earn my
I
gratitude.
don't say this
But
often,
enough
but
of
I'd
that.
fuck that dragon. He,
Prepare for what I am about to shove into your brain hole. My friends,
he's a handsome guy.
my kin, I present to you.
Here
Ah,
it is.
whatever. You get it.
Oh. Ooh. I love when he does these cinematic reveals. Holy shit. She looks great. She looks great.
Damn, son.
What the? They were on the ship, so they loaded. That's great. Revenge. That was badass. That was badass.
Patreon.
Patreon. Support the man on Patreon if you haven't. There you go. I love the Tomkek videos. They're great. Unbelievably good.